Hello everyone. Take off your blinkers. You are up way too early. Surely. You told me it's 4 a.m. or 4:05 by now. So please guys, let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me, and apologies for being a few minutes late. I lost my office, as in that office, and I have no idea why, but it's back. So we can go. And the good news is that since I was a little bit late, guess who was on time going through? He's never on time normally. So that's very good. Everyone's here. Hi Carnivore Crew, Meat Militia, Anti-Sugar Army. That's a mouthful. And I have a big ass cup of coffee today. Hello bros and sisters. Hello great Pim. Semi-elusive Cockwomblomme. Right, that's another mouthful. I'm very mighty. Yes, great and powerful, of course. So we have Uncle Bart, Uncle Harry, Grandpa Nixie. Does this make Auntie Pimmy the auntie of anti-sugar? If you like. You guys are a little bit mental, but that's good. It's cool. Rose Bailey, looking forward to this chat. Glad you do. I hope you have some questions for me, because I haven't actually prepared anything for this week. I thought I would try to just, we have enough people here every week to actually have a good hour of just doing some questions and answers. And as you know, I'm really busy and I'm trying to get some quality interviewees to this channel. And as I've already revealed without telling who, I have an expert on oxalates coming up, and I think I will be interviewing this person on the 20th of June. So it will be a few days after that is coming up. So if you have more questions with regards to oxalates, just, let me know and I will put them down on the sheet. I only have 1 hour for the interview, so we'll see what we can get through. I have some good questions right now, but I'll try to make sure that I answer them all. Lindley, I did get your email. I haven't responded to it yet because I wanted to actually give you a good response to that and not just a quick reply. And as I said, I've been very busy. Yesterday was not my best day this week. I think it's very, very stressful at work right now, and I'm not actually enjoying it at all. And yesterday was just one of those days where I just felt like I can't do anything, and I had a headache all day. So I just was down on the sofa most of the day, had a brief walk with the puppies, and that was it. Fell asleep the day before at 7 p.m. That doesn't happen. Didn't sleep well though, but something's going on there and I haven't felt well. So apologies for not getting back to people on time and being a little bit slow. And for those of you who are in the 30-day no sugar challenge group, I didn't go on Facebook yesterday to answer many comments at all, so I will get to that today. Okay. Yes, my mustache must have fallen off. Apologies for that. I did have a shave this morning, so you will have to live with that. Okay. Heidi ho, and the Discord crew as well, apparently. For those of you who don't know, I am going to do a good deed and turn up on Bart's channel for the round table today. We'll see what I can contribute with there. So that would be interesting. Okay, now the chat starts jumping. Sweet as. Oh, maybe I should have checked that as well. I haven't got to that. I'm just assuming that you all hear me because it looks like you can. Yeah, good. Thank you, Kitty Witty. I need a big ass cup of coffee too. Yeah. It's really cold here again. I've had the heater on in this room for an hour and a half and it's still not warm. So I thought some egg coffee would be good. Bo says that that's my normal size coffee cup, only drink one a day. When I make coffee, it's like this 800 milliliter press thingy. So this is maybe close to half a liter, so I might have 1.5 or a little bit more. Oh no, Thomas, I have to go. Susan Monster beckons. All right then. Yeah, just a little bit. I like it though. It's good. When you look into the abyss looks into you. Yeah, as I said. Right, first question. How to get Bart off pizza and beer? Is it possible? Now, that's a funny question because probably not. The thing with Bart is that, as most of you know, he has a form of autism called pathological demand avoidance. So if I would ever mention it, he would never stop doing it, pretty much. So if he's ever going to do it, there must be something that he wants to do for himself, and he has to make that decision without feeling as if it is a demand from himself. So that is a tricky one. It can't be easy to live with that sort of brain wiring or whatever. It's very intelligent, but some things are just, not the way that we would probably want them to be if we were in their shoes. It must be quite hard to kind of not actually think and feel like other people do just by default. I can't even imagine what that would be like. I mean, not saying that I think and do exactly what everyone else thinks and do, but when it feels like it's obsessive. So maybe that was more of an answer than you wanted. I know it wasn't a serious question, but I'm actually mentioning that because it is a real condition which can cause some problems, mainly for him. Kitty says, I'd rather be mental than be brain dead and drooling while watching cable TV. Yeah, and we have a lot of people doing that, unfortunately. How's the fasting going? Have you started eating again? I'm interested. Yay, Daniel Smith. Smash that like button. Yes, please. Thank you, Bo. Yeah, the problem is that, and most of you know by now, that they had to fire 50% of the staff. So I'm doing the job of 3 people, but I'm not actually doing my job, which is my old job title is kind of being put on hold, and I'm actually doing mainly the job of 2 other people, which is in quality control, where I used to work. And not only do I not really enjoy it that much, but I don't actually know what to do. So, and with expectations of being there from 6:30 in the morning till 5, it's not going to happen, obviously, but there is more hours going into that than I would like, and I'm trying to get them back somehow. Leave early Fridays, etc. There's always something popping up, and obviously I have other more interesting things that I want to spend my time doing, and when you have that stress, you also get very, very tired. So it's not a good combination, and I'm working on getting out of there ASAP. But we all have to pay our bills, so that's not going to happen next week, but we shall see. Yes, tell all his secrets live. I'm evil. Baby, it was you. I thought it was Daniel, and I said something last week to, the other Daniel Smith, about roly-poly fish heads. And he didn't understand when I said, did you go and water the fish heads in your garden, I think, because he didn't say anything. So all of you who were here that heard me say that must have thought that I was also being very mental. But I think it was Daniel Baber who actually mentioned that on on Bart's live stream, and the rumor hit me because I introduced him to the roly-poly fishes. Yay! So yeah, I will be there too. So I'm going to try to keep this to an hour so I get a little break in between, and I was going to say throw the puppies in the washing machine, etc. But I'm not going to throw them in, just their bedding, etc. Oi, Luke, what about doing another good deed and showing up Discord? I am on Discord. I'm just not very active, but I see some things. So if you actually want to say something to me, tag me. Do you have any real questions today? Looking rested. I did have a semi-good sleep today. And to be honest, I said I spent most of the day on the sofa yesterday. So the day on Friday, I went to bed at 7-ish. Didn't sleep that well. Was up at 4. Slept probably between 7 and 9:30 in the morning, and then kind of half unconscious until noon. It was not good. The headache kind of knocked me out as well, I think. And then last night went to bed at 9. Up at 6. However, someone kept me awake for a little bit in the middle of the night. But yeah, I think I finally actually caught up with the sleep. So thank you. Pim, Bart has a cough still. Make him eat some offal. Do some saunas, Wim Hof, and maybe some raw dairy if he can handle dairy. He's drinking cream, but he wouldn't do raw cream. Tried that before. He doesn't want to do it. The cough, I think, is because he's smoking, not so much necessarily because of the cold or whatever he had. Might be listening in there. I don't know, because I heard him get into his office. So he's going to be like, meow, meow, meow. It's because I have a cold. So, yeah. And it's funny they say, make him eat offal. If I try to make him do anything, he will do the opposite. You should have listened earlier, Necro Kitty. I'm not kidding you. It's actually real. Baby, that was on the cover in Scavenger of Human Sorrow. Okay, I'm not sure what I missed here. Eli, hi Pim, do you think keto should be permanent or cycle with some kind of carb feeding? That's a very, very interesting question, because most people will probably say that they think that, as in now I'm talking carnivores and people like Stephanie, keto person, etc. They would say that no, you should stay keto permanently. There is a case, in my opinion, for some carbs for some people. If you don't feel well enough or good doing just pure keto, if you are getting cold, you feel like maybe your thyroid is going into hibernation, that might happen for some people. And that isn't necessarily because low carb is bad. That is because you're messed up when you're starting doing low carb because of the diet that you've had previously. So I'm not saying that low carb isn't good. I think low carb is absolutely the way that most people should be eating, and that's probably the most healthy way of eating. But it doesn't work for everyone for certain reasons. I know Sally Kane Norton has talked about some people just can't get into fat burning mode, for example, because they are so damaged. The oxalates might have damaged their thyroid, for example, and therefore they need a little bit of carbs to actually get some sort of energy. You can heal it, probably, but it might take years. So if you're not feeling well doing low carb, I do think that you should be cycling a little bit, or maybe you even need it every night a little bit to sleep well. So that's something that is highly individual. Most people probably don't need too many carbs at all. But I won't say that I don't think everyone should stay away from it. And what type of carbs depends on what you can tolerate. But I don't think you should go too high on the carbs either. But if you can't get your body to actually burn fat, then obviously you have a problem and you need to kind of help your body getting there somehow. And if that is going to take you 3 years, you don't want to feel super tired and lethargic for 3 years and not have any energy or feel like shit. clearly it would be better for you to just actually add a few carbs and then feel better doing it. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to a high carb diet, absolutely not. Just adding a little bit to, you have to tighten that up a little bit and trial and error and see where you're actually feeling good. I hope you're well, Eli. You haven't sent me any messages. I'm waiting. Well, how about the way he is? I figured you do. Most of you are in his camp. Right. So that was a real question. Thank you, Eli, by the way. Necrokitty, no, I haven't quit. This is day 17 of fasting. Holy moly. Had some electrolyte problems. Snake just doesn't have enough salt in it. Yeah. I took monk mode's advice and things got way better. So what advice was that monk mode? Just eat some extra salt? I'm curious. Share the advice. Maybe someone else will benefit from it. Semi-elusive Coquamblomme. Approve your name change. Yes, I don't even know who you are. You have to tell me because I'm too stupid to figure that out. It requires brain power and my brain is busy. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up. Yeah, yep. I want to sing it, but I can't sing. Okay. Monk mode is cheese. Monk mode on Discord. He inherited a fasting server filled with degenerates. He has some really solid advice. Monk mode, do you want to come on my channel and talk about fasting? That would be super cool. You're more than welcome, by the way. We're doing the fish heads again. Good on you, Shell. Yay. Who here eats fish heads, by the way? I don't. Oh, okay. Showing up for... yeah, I can do that sometime. Spencer Steele, thank you very much for the super chat. I really do like that. Why does it seem to take some people 6 to 12 months to feel 100% as far as energy, motivation, anxiety, and depression after quitting caffeine? Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure it has taken anyone. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone who has taken 6 to 12 months to get back to square one after quitting caffeine. So I'm wondering, when you say that, does that mean that the person that quit caffeine felt good on caffeine and then had these problems for 6 to 12 months after just changing that one factor, quitting caffeine? If that is the case, I think that that person probably have some sort of adrenal fatigue, and the way they're masking that up is with coffee. So to get those adrenals working in the morning to release the cortisol and the adrenaline and epinephrine or whatever you want to call it, you need some coffee, and that will make you feel normal, but just to normal where a normal person would feel normal, someone who's not dependent on coffee or, to feel okay. So if that is the case, you probably need the rest, the salt, the resetting of your adrenals, and that is something that can take a long time. That would be my best guess, unless they have changed something else as well. So if you have posted anything after that. And all of that is, energy, adrenals, absolutely. Motivation has to do with adrenals. Anxiety, I don't know. Anxiety is very subjective, I think. Anxiety can be caused by too many adrenal hormones, but it can also, when you're not feeling well, when you're anxious, etc., that can cause anxiety. And when you want to do things in your life, but you don't have the motivation to do it, that can absolutely cause anxiety. Same with the depression. The depression is, if you don't have any energy, you're going to get that. So it's entirely possible that it's a problem with adrenal fatigue. Let's see if I can find my way back now. Right. Holy shit. You are, many guys, there are lots of you here today. So when I'm talking about something interesting, sometimes just 20 people, and today I'm just putting Q&A and you're just here to chat with me. You don't have many questions, but you're more than welcome. Love you guys. So that's that. Okay, more fish heads. Okay. So I got to talk and hear Daniel Smith and Luke. That was really fun. Okay, I'll have to go and do that then. Real question here. Will keto help lower blood sugar type 1 diabetes diagnosed 3 weeks ago? Yeah, if you're talking blood sugar, absolutely. The thing with type 1 diabetics is that they don't have the capacity of making any insulin. So you will not, and I mean, I say that, but if it's early stage, if it was diagnosed 3 weeks ago, it is entirely possible that that person has some sort of function in their pancreas still. So it is entirely possible that this person could, with a proper low carb diet, live a life without injections if they have enough function. Most of the time, though, it's too late by the time you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So without knowing how much function there is in the pancreas, we don't really know. But, you know, keto will absolutely help lowering blood sugar. That's not in question. It will do. If you're not eating a lot of sugar, you won't have a lot of sugar, so that's fine. I'm not sure if that's actually what you want to know or if you wanted to know something else. But what I can say is that in type 1 diabetics, the reason that the blood sugar is going so high is that they don't have enough insulin to store it or get rid of it from the blood. So you just want to make sure that you have enough insulin to store whatever blood sugar you have. If you're going on a keto diet, you need to adjust the dosage of the insulin that you are injecting if you're injecting insulin. So it's a very easy way of living with diabetes. If you always eat the same type of low carb foods, you know exactly how much, you will learn after a little while anyway, while you kind of try that out, how much insulin you need to inject, and then you can just do that. But remember that even if you are low carb, if you are type 1 diabetic, because we always have a need for insulin, even when we're fasting, when we're not eating anything, there will be a need for some insulin. Just remember that, so you can't just assume that I'm low carb, I don't need any insulin. You will need it to some degree or another. So don't go and kill yourself doing that. Okay. Sorry, Necro. I asked that question before you explained his autism. So sneak some 10% offal into his ground beef. Just eat liver pate sometimes. I need to go. I was actually going to go after this and try to buy a new mixer so I can make some more pate because the old one broke. But I don't know if I have enough time. Ben's daily motivation. Hi Pim, doing your sugar challenge. I know you're in there. And I've been doing carnivore now for only 4 days and have squashed all cravings for sugar. It really works, guys. Thanks for your help. That's so awesome. Congratulations. I'm really, really happy for you. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for me. For me, it's more of a mental thing. But for many people, it does work to just get all of that bullshit out of your diet, even the vegetables, unfortunately. Ben, I'm so happy that it's working for you. I hope that it will stay that way because obviously that is the easier way of doing it. But yeah, that's so cool. I want to talk to you a little bit more later on, but we'll see. I'll see in the group what you're up to. So keep posting, keep us all informed. And as I said earlier, I didn't check the group yesterday. So for those of you who are in there doing the challenge right now, I will get to you today. Snake juice. If working in heat, is there such a thing as too much snake juice? No. I wouldn't worry about that. If you have functioning kidneys, they're going to take care of your salt balance. You will sweat some out, and that's why you need to kind of replace it. But no, you're not going to drink too much of it. Okay. Ashley L. Carney, 2.5 years, developed a dystonia in that time, deficient to look for. Unrelated, neurologist said a small hypertrophy in trap muscle causing, but I wonder, any insight might be too specific. Dystonia, I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. Is that just like cramping, or that's what it sounds like to me, or some sort of blood vessel thing? I need to Google this. Okay, so like, no, I get it. Okay, so it's like a twitching on a major scale sort of thing. And the neurologist said a small hypertrophy in trap muscle causing. Okay, the hypertrophy could actually come from the twitching. If that is something that is ongoing and it keeps cramping, the muscle might actually grow if you give it the nutrients, because it keeps working constantly. Yeah, okay, so muscle cramps, what I would look out for, if generally, keep hitting the ring on my coffee cup, is first of all magnesium, but also maybe potassium. So are you getting enough salt and minerals in your diet? Are you taking any magnesium supplements? You shouldn't necessarily need it, but you can also do things like eat bones. Like if you are ever eating chicken, can you kind of cook those bones a bit more so that you can eat them, for example? Bone broth might work as well, but for you, if you are deficient in something, try magnesium. You can also try some extra potassium. Just don't overdose on the potassium, because that can be quite dangerous. But I would start with that and just, especially the magnesium. But I would probably go for both of them, just to be sure. They're quite cheap. It's not hard to do. And you will probably see a relief fairly quickly. So magnesium is just one of those things that is very important for muscles and neurons in general, nerve cells, that is. So I would start there and see where you end up. How much meat in terms of grams should a man eat a day, and should I stay away from rice? I mean, I would stay away from rice, but I know that you are trying to build, etc., and some people might think that they feel better doing rice and that they get more energy. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I mean, how big are you? How much do you weigh? How much muscle? How much fat mass do you have? How much do you work out? It's really hard to give you a number of grams, but 1 to 2 grams of protein per gram of lean body mass. It's probably a good thing for you, I think, somewhere around there, whatever that means to you. I don't know. Do you need the rice? Maybe you are one of those people who should try to do a cyclic ketogenic diet, maybe. Have you tried doing this diet without the rice? Do you feel better or worse? Experiment. I don't think the rice in terms of nutrition doesn't really add anything to your diet. In terms of psychological benefit, maybe. In terms of filling up your glycogen stores, maybe. Yep, sure. So if you do a lot of exercise, maybe it feels better. Maybe it makes you, helps you exercise better, or more, lift more weights or whatever. But for most people, I would say no, I wouldn't necessarily do it. I don't think it's necessary. Rose, if you eat the carnivore diet, are you in ketosis most or all of the time? Personally, I'm not concerned about it, but just curious. If you have a fully functioning metabolic system, you will be in ketosis most of the time, unless you are eating. Anytime you eat, you will be kicked out of ketosis because you are adding energy to your body. if you have some hormonal problems underlying, increased insulin, etc., you're not going to be able to get into ketosis. But in an ideal world, if you were eating a carnivore diet and you were functioning well, you would be in ketosis most of the time, unless you're eating. Pim, what do you think the best way to explain that sugar and carbs causes a lot of health issues to those who swear the low carb is all shit and carnivore diet will kill you? So the best way to explain it, let me think, do I just get to choose one way? I think the best way would be that your cells are glycated when your blood sugar is high. And when your cells are being glycated, they are kind of becoming sticky, if you like. Things will get stuck on them and they will easily be destroyed. And this is what is happening in your, in your blood vessels, for example. And when you get little tears, they get destroyed. You have an opportunity to develop heart disease because you will have cholesterol patching up those little holes, because we don't want those holes there, and you will get lots of inflammatory cells, immune cells, and that's how you start building up those little plaques and stuff in your arteries. So I would say it has to do with the glycation of your cells. I think that's probably the best way to explain, the whole body thing. And when you do that, when your cells are having all this sugar attached to it and more susceptible to being, break up, etc., you will have more inflammation, and more inflammation is obviously not a great thing for anything. If anyone can think of something better, let me know. Eli, I'm good, thanks. I'm logging my food. We'll send the log soon. Cool. Yes, we did have a super chat. Hello, girls and boys, says Bart K. Uncle Bart. I eat fish heads, of course. Of course you do. Yes, fish head soup. Yes, hang on. You know what? Let's do this. Just because some of you might not actually know this, but I think I want to share it with you because you need a little bit of education. Just need to get my headphones on and plug them in. So if you excuse me for 30 seconds or so, I shall be. Oh shit. I think we can pause there. Okay. So this is for your education. And we need audio. Here we go.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
In the morning, laughing happy fish heads. In the evening, floating in the soup.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Ask a fish head anything you want to. They won't answer, they can't talk.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
I took a fish head out to see a movie. Didn't have to pay to get it in.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
They can't play baseball, they wear sweaters. They're not good dancers.
They don't play drums.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Roly-poly fish heads are never seen drinking cappuccino in Italian restaurants with Oriental women.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Yeah.
So there you go. Now everyone knows what we're talking about. Very good. I just wasted 2.5 minutes of your life or something. So there you go. That's the fish heads. Now I don't need these headphones anymore, so I'll take them off again. Right, so necro. Monkman said a minimum of 3 teaspoons of salt daily. Snake juice had me at a 1/6 of that. Okay. He has a 10-page PDF tutorial for free on his Discord explaining on how to do a short and long-term fast. Yes, I think I even have that, but I haven't read it yet. So if you want to get more information about fasting, that sort of thing, join that Discord and you will know all about salt. There you go. Bo says, I do suck at prawn heads. Does that count as fish heads? I mean, even chefs do it. Yeah, let's say yes then. You're eating sort of almost fish heads. Daniel Baby, if you were hooked on coffee, you produce those receptors and then you have to get some caffeine in to avoid the headaches. What's this relating to? This is funny because I never get coffee headaches and I never get addicted to coffee, which is interesting. Either way, if this was with regards to the previous question on coffee, I think it doesn't take 6 to 12 months to rectify that. We're talking a week, or if someone is severely impaired by the coffee, maybe 10 days, you know, that sort of time frame. You might still have the coffee cravings, but that's a different thing. Okay. Necro says his PDF suggests a vitamin B and maybe vitamin C supplement for long-term fasters. Is a good read. Right. I will read it. Eli says, what would be the best nutritional strategy to heal adrenal fatigue? Okay, so I don't have a whole protocol, but one thing that your adrenals need is salt. And the best thing that you could probably do is have a glass of salt water as soon as you wake up in the morning, because if your adrenals don't work properly, they will not release all the hormones that you need in the morning, the adrenaline, the noradrenaline, etc. So you will be very tired in the mornings, and then it might take your adrenals all day to kind of wake up, and then you might even you may be feeling very fatigued and very tired, but have trouble sleeping, and that's just because your adrenals have finally kind of started producing something, and they're kind of just totally out of whack. So what you want to do is that first thing that happens, you can prepare it the night before or whatever, have it next to you in the bed, drink a glass of salt water, have like half a teaspoon at least in there. It tastes arse, but just do it, and that will actually support your adrenals to kind of get going. But also, you know, depending on who you are, you're doing, there are other things that you can do. I don't want to give you any sort of recommendations without actually looking into that again. I haven't done that for years now, but there are other things like vitamin C, etc., that can be maybe helpful as a way of doing that. But it probably also depends on what the problem is and where it's coming from. So some of these things you might want to be a little bit careful with. It sounds like they might be harmless, but if you have an oxalate problem, for example, adding a lot of vitamin C might make that worse. So I would just start with the salt and maybe ask for, contact someone who knows something about it and get some help to work something out, or do a lot of reading about it. Spencer Steele, yes, adrenal exhaustion. Do you think carnivore can speed up healing the adrenals, especially including organs? Thanks. I think this is a very good idea, absolutely. For most people, I think that would work really well. However, what would not work well is if you do a low-calorie carnivore diet. That's probably not the best way to go. But if you're eating until you're actually full, until you're satisfied, and you do include a lot of organs, etc., I think you are pretty much doing the right thing, absolutely. And organs contain a lot of vitamins and minerals, so go for it, absolutely. Long live Pim, our queen and empress. I thought I was the pirate queen. Dragonfire couldn't be here 3 weeks. Someone said, oh my god. I hope he's alright. 3 weeks is a long time. Should we change onto Pim into Empress Pim, Queen of Anti-Sugar? I love how you're coming up with my titles. I'll adopt whatever title you decide that I should be having. Bart says jag är kung här. Apparently he's the emperor now. Low carb will help preserve your beta cells in early type 1 diabetes. Yes, absolutely. I feel very positive effects since starting a carnivore diet, but the changes are taking a long time. Is it possible that I was in such a terrible state that it simply can take that long? Yeah. How long have you been doing it then? And what is it that you're trying to rectify? So, no, I can't even remember, but if you were watching the interview that I had with Emily from Center of Balance, I can't remember what she said, but it did take her quite some time. I mean, within a year, she had pretty much figured it out more or less. But, she had to tinker a little bit with the types of meat that she was eating, removing some meats, adding other meats, eating more fat, wasn't doing well with poultry, for example, and now she's found where she needs to be for right now anyway. That might change with time, but she also lost a lot of weight and she was healing, and that can take time. I mean, we're spending many years abusing ourselves with food, and I think we should be grateful that it doesn't take as long to actually heal from that, for most people anyway. If you knew that it would take you 20 years to heal whatever you have, because it's taken you 20 years to get there, would you be prepared to do it? I don't know. Hopefully it won't take you 20 years, but it can take a while, yes. Going through, the only emperor in New Zealand is Yellow Ted. There are only his minions. Awesome. You're welcome, Dragonfire. Math fast FWFIW. I don't know. Fasting and after newly diagnosed type 1 may help to restore some insulin capability. All I've seen is anecdotal. Yeah, I think, for some people that still have function in the pancreas to some degree, you can restore some of it, absolutely. But it just depends on how far gone you are. When I get carb cravings, I eat more lean meats. That would never work for me, but I'm glad if it does for you. Because I would be like, meat? I don't want meat. I want ice cream. Gung Fu, you're here to help, aren't you? A great pizza a day keeps the doctor away. I don't really think so. Unless I'm the doctor and he starts farting, then yes, that might be true. I reduced non-animal foods to about 15% by volume of my diet and cravings down by 90%. That's cool. Patricia, what happens if you reduce those 15% as well? Do you think the cravings will disappear? It's entirely possible. I've been veg here and there while hobby is on keto. Ugh, the pain in the gut has returned. No more veg for me. Eating. Yes, I kind of figure that. Yes, she retracted that statement. Pizza Anonymous, yes, very good. Okay. Dystonia, my head pulls to the left and wobbles and I can't control it. That sounds quite severe, absolutely. So the minerals that I was mentioning earlier, have you tried, anything like massage or even acupuncture or something like that might just kind of help with the nerve dysfunction or whatever? Because that sounds a bit severe. We'll try magnesium, gold. Just go slow in the beginning. Try to tighten it up because your guts might not tolerate it. If you, most people seem to tolerate magnesium biglycinate the best. Anything ending with 8 should be fine, but try that one first. It might be helpful. Or you can also try a transdermal thing, like get that sprayed on and just put it straight on your shoulder. That might work as well because that's very localized. We'll try both. I miss eating meat, says. I've been planning my future meals for the last week. I want to make cheesy baked scallops. So, Necro, when are you going to eat again? Bo says, I ate 6 oysters and a fillet of horse meat today. Feel great. I'm not sure about oysters. I'm making my bone broth for breaking my fast. I'm going to put my whole Instapot in the freezer covered and reheat the day I break my fast. You're like me, I think. You just like to plan for when you're going to break it. So when I'm fasting, what I'm doing, it's like I'm going to the butchers every now and then, stocking up on meat because I want to eat it when I'm done, and just preparing for doing, start eating again. And it somehow makes me feel sane. I'm a little bit obsessed with like getting to there, but I'm not in a hurry. It's really weird. When people say that supplements are toxic, how exactly are they toxic? Details. What supplements are we talking about? There are billions of supplements in the world. So if you can be a little bit more specific, I will try to give you a little bit more of a specific answer, because that's very vague. Meditation, visualization, think that has little to do with the physiological component and more with the nerve structure and firing of signals in the absence of common causes. Maybe. Potentially. I mean, try it all. For protein in a steak, divide its weight by about 4. Yes. I didn't see anyone ask that question, but yes, meat is roughly 25% protein by weight. Okay, so we'll try that. 2.5 years of carnivore and all the benefits gone because of the muscle relaxers I have to take, blah. Now I can't remember what the actual question was. I have to scroll back because my brain is just, So did Nesra ask you that? Okay, never mind. I'll let you talk amongst yourself and see for the next one. You're welcome, Daniel. I can't remember what I even answered. You see how my brain is just like, bah, it's like horse shit in there. Dr. Finney did a study that lower carb diet results in less inflammation. Yeah. Eat them up. Yum. Yes, glycation is a good way to explain it, good reminder to myself. And it happens everywhere. Yes, they need educating. I think, I've destroyed the lives of 40 people or so today. Good. Most people don't actually watch the links I send. I haven't seen any links. I guess that was for someone else. Oh shit, now it's jumping here. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left or such, so I'm gonna try to not read anything that is not questions now. Apart from things like this, like I used to love the Fishhead song when I was a kid, good memories. Yeah, I remember introducing that to my mom. I said, Mom, this is the best song ever. And she was like, you fucking mad. I said the F word. She didn't like it, I don't think. But she did laugh a little bit. So you're actually singing in the supermarket. So anything fish heads related, I will actually put up on the screen. It's very important. Okay. I'm not sure if this was with regards to the caffeine or something, but I just saw that. I have no idea why you're saying that, Daniel. Okay, so Daniel says, I was dragging my ass all morning and I have been feeling like shit lately, but I'm trying to get more salt in. Even getting enough salt in the coffee crash didn't really happen today. Even getting enough salt in the coffee crash didn't really happen. Okay, so that's a good sign. And a bad sign. It's a good sign that it's working. It's not so good because clearly there's something going on with your adrenals if that is the case and if it's helping. But the good news is that if it's helping, you're actually right now doing your adrenals a favor and making them work better again. So keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully that is going to work. I eat a lot of salt. I've always done. Probably always will do. Let's see. Adrenal fatigue is what I have been working on. Salt in the morning, magnesium glycinate at night, 100 milligram first week, ramp it up to 400 milligrams. GABA help with sleep. An autoimmune protocol carnivore diet helps me. Cool. Yeah, that's good. I'm chewing on salted crushed ice. I always salt my water. So good. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I've been drinking snake juice for a long time now, and I can't really drink normal tap water. It's just sweet and strange. It actually tastes sweet to me. But then I don't drink much in general, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know. Clearly I don't need it because I don't want it most of the time. The only time I want to drink a lot is if I have eaten pizza or some other fast food where they just salt the shit out of it for some reason. I can put, if you saw me salt my food, I would probably put like just on my steak probably a whole teaspoon of salt, if not more, which is a lot for just a portion of steak, considering I'm eating maybe 300 grams. I've always done that, but if I get some fast food, I don't know how much salt they're putting in there, but I get so thirsty and I can just drink and drink and drink. And I guess that the problem also is that there are carbs in there, and if I've been low carb, I'm just gonna be like hoarding the water, I guess. Already caught myself singing a Fish Head song while going to the bathroom to wash my hands. Yes, I have managed to destroy your day, Bo. Isn't it lovely? Yeah, it does. It does live rent-free in my brain as well. We're making everything into fish heads here. We're just changing the words sometimes. Okay. Okay. 1 year, you answered my question and I can't remember your question. Let's see where you are. It's been a long time ago. I see lots of your comments, but not. Okay, so no, I was asking about the supplements. Why you think they are toxic? I'll see if you have an answer for that. Okay. Sorry, Pim, should I be more specific? Are magnesium, zinc, B vitamin supplements safe? What about MSM? I don't think they are unsafe. I think the problem is that you might not need them. Sometimes when we're taking something, we might create an imbalance that we might not want to have. And if you're eating, a good diet, you shouldn't need a lot of those supplements. Some people might be deficient in some things coming into a carnivore diet, and that might not be enough to, get you up to the levels that you would want or need to have of that particular thing. I would look at the, so I don't have any supplements around, but I took MSM many years ago. For a while, I didn't notice any difference, so I stopped it. But I think you want to look at the what kind of fillers, etc., are in there, and go for something that has as little as possible. I'm not an expert in all those kind of fillers and what the problems are with it, or the specific ones, but saying that they're toxic is probably a little bit harsh. So if you are thinking about any specific filler, I would be happy to kind of look that up for you, because I don't think I know enough about those fillers and what potential problems they could be causing. Not just on top of my head. I might have it, buried somewhere deep inside, and some old knowledge I need to pull out that I've forgotten about. Just need a little bit of a reminder. So yeah, sorry I can't answer that better, but if you let me know if there's anything specific, then I will look it up for you. Covered by Sydney band of Teenage in 1986. That's interesting. Yeah, I watched it on MTV as well. So we're about the same old-ish then. Daniel says, my body's still healing, but I've got way less pain and a shitload of constant energy. Well, that's good. I love having energy, not the way I felt yesterday. For what it's worth. Okay, thank you. I'll try to remember that for next time, because I'm totally useless with most abbreviations. Sorry. So Necrokid says, the weirdo in me would do Cmax for dystonia, but I'm no doctor. I just know it repairs and reveals nerve and brain cells. Might be worth looking into, absolutely. Kate Update says, Patricia, my intestines are shot too. I thought going full carnivore would destroy them further. Nope, the opposite. That's good. How's Professor Fluffy doing? She's sleeping here. Puffy. Yes. She's not wanting to move. She's in a warm bed. Nope, don't wanna. Nessie, are you coming? Nope. I don't see anything wrong with eating oysters once a year. Can't afford the burgers. Well, that's not very often. Super chat. Thank you, Cornell Russo. I appreciate that a lot. Is it possible to die in the living room? Yes, I believe it is. That was a very strange question, but I do appreciate the super chat a lot, actually, as a matter of fact. I don't know how to answer that question differently. It is entirely possible. Let's give this another few minutes and see what's happening. Yes, supplements can be toxic to your wallet, yeah. Pim's in Harry mode with the comments, lol. Hi, now you're being rude. Go sleep. Oh, that was funny. Okay, so just because you said I had to put it up, skip everything I've typed because it's pretty much bullshit. I am trying to find real questions. You're welcome, Kate. Have a good day, you too. You were reading the wrong series, but there's only one good emperor, and he is of Terra, a true carnivore. What about the fat emperor of Ivor Cummins? Does he count as good? Yes, we were thinking about putting together something, weren't we, Mr. K? Cyanocobalamin versus methylcobalamin. I think methylcobalamin is easier to absorb because it's already methylated. That also depends on if you have like MTHFR problem or not. If you do, you probably want everything methylated beforehand. If not, I don't know if it actually makes a huge difference. And if you don't know what you are, then maybe go for the safer option of the methylated one. Yes, we need someone to play the flute then. I don't actually like flutes. Cool. Do that. And then, you know what you can do? Just send me an email and I can look into that and I will address those on the next live session next weekend. That's the easy way to do. Because then I can probably give you a better answer than I can just on top of my head because I don't know everything. Okay. Pim, I'm older just a bit than you and Bart, which means nothing. Bart is 5 years older than me, so, you know, are you a bit older than him or a bit older than me? Dragonfire, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Any data on protein to blood sugar rise? I'm trying to control accurate insulin level injection type 1 diabetes. This is quite interesting as well. So your protein should not... okay, let me put it. If you have proper insulin sensitivity and your glucagon is working fine, your blood sugar should not go up a lot when you eat protein, okay? If you're type 1 diabetic, then obviously you will take insulin with the food, but your body should still be releasing some glucagon in response to the meat, which means that the blood sugar rise should be kind of balanced. This is the thing, because normally meat will increase your insulin in your blood, or it will release more insulin, but it will also release glucagon to kind of counteract the insulin. So it will go up for anyone, and a type 1 diabetic that is managing their the blood glucose levels correctly and injecting the right amount of insulin, you should have a similar response to someone who is not type 1 diabetic. That's what you should aim for anyway. So if you see that your insulin levels or your blood sugar levels are going up a lot when you're eating meat, you're probably not getting enough insulin, and you should obviously increase that slightly. But it could also be that, you know, something about some people, not very common, but there are people that are glucagon resistant, etc. So if you feel like you can't really balance that, then you will have to look into that a little bit more. But it shouldn't be a problem, not for anyone actually. Any data on it? I don't have any data on that. I would create my own data, because what you're actually interested in is how you respond and not how other people are responding. So I would just, you know, you can do an experiment. If you're a carnivore, buy a huge piece of meat, cut it up into, let's say, I don't know how much meat you eat. Let's say you're eating 300-400 grams at a certain time every day. Do the same thing every day for several days in a row and inject the same amount of insulin every day for those, 3-4 days or whatever. So every day you have the same amount of insulin at the same time of the day. That's important as well. And then the same amount of meat, 300 grams, 400 grams, you choose how much you're going to eat. And then you will get a response to that and see if that is consistent every single day. If it is fairly consistent, you kind of know where you are. And then you can play around with that a little bit, increase, if you need to increase the insulin, if you need to decrease it, maybe add a little bit more meat, what's happening then? Do you have any function in your body? For some people, if they have good, if they do have some function in the beta cells in the pancreas, then maybe they don't need a lot of insulin to be injected. So you will have to play around with that a little bit. I hope that was a good enough answer for you. Sarah, thank you for the super sticker. I can't see them on here. That bugs me out, actually. But thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Versus a little bit older. You don't like float either. Are there any benefits to smoking cigarettes? I don't think so. There are some people that say that nicotine in microdoses can increase your focus. But whether you need to smoke the nicotine, I don't think so. Probably better ways of doing that. Google Dr. Bernstein, type 1. He has a good book on diabetes and a forum. Yeah, we talked about that last week. I have the book here somewhere in my bookshelf. And I think Lindy said that she found it many years ago as well, and it's done wonders for her. She's type 1 diabetics, absolutely. But that is very much based on, for breakfast, you're having 6 grams of carbs, exactly, etc. But if you don't want to eat those carbs, you obviously can do that with a carnivore diet. Just work out a really good, routine. You know how much meat you can have. You know exactly how much insulin you need for that. You're going to feel really good, and you're not going to have those blood sugar swings, which is great. So I think you can live a really, really good and healthy life and, not have any complications from diabetes if you're doing this. Absolutely do. It just requires you to be a little bit consistent and experiment a little bit. She just super chatted but has previously asked about advantage of smoking on contracting this C virus. What? Who what? I don't know. We just talked about that. I don't think there is anything, but I don't know. The C virus, you know what? Just eat good stuff. Don't be, insulin resistant. Don't be diabetic if you can avoid it. Why would you smoke? Oh, now I got it. I got here late. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. And I failed the 1 hour again. We're on 1 hour and 8 minutes now. But we're pretty much done. We are at last comment here. Yeah, it says, sorry, just a slight under real sig. We were talking about vaping. So unless you have any more questions, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to get going and do some other things, and then I'm going to show up on the next live stream that starts in 45 minutes at the Nutrition Science Watchdogs round table. I will be in there today. Oh, Zombie, you can join me or join Bart and me and a couple of other people, I believe, if they turn up at the round table very soon. Yeah, I'm noticing they're not always great, but there you go. You guys know that I'm on every Saturday for most of you, or Sunday for me, same time every week. So, set your own reminders and just join me. But there were quite a lot of people here for a while. We were over 40 people just chatting away. I don't know if we had a lot of questions, but there were some questions and a lot of chatting. I always enjoy your chat, but you know, if you do have questions, if you have any questions that you think, you know, I actually need to prepare a little bit for, like, you know, are supplements toxic? What do you actually really want to know? What's in those supplements? Give me a heads up, send me an email, and I'll try to address them on the next live stream. That's much easier because I don't know everything. I don't have everything in my head, I'm afraid, but I can find out. Bart is having a stream, and I am going to be there. 49 peeps, yay. Do we have 49 likes? If not, give it a thumbs up. And it was great to see you all here. Take care, Gung Fu. Thank you, Daniel. Love you guys, and I will be back again next weekend. And there will be some sort of interview. I don't have one sorted yet, but I have spoken to someone about making something interesting. So hopefully that will come up on your Tuesday as well. Yep, you will shall. Let's see. Okay. See you all. Take care. Bye.